Hello, everyone. We are so excited to have you here today with us. It is such an exciting day. Today, we're going to cover a topic that so many health practitioners struggle with. So many health practitioners and coaches get stuck on this, and people need solutions because this can either make or break your business, especially if we're talking about an online business. So, we've titled today's webinar presentation, Unlock High Converting Social Media Strategies That Have Been Proven to Work, specifically for health practitioners and coaches that are working online, and how to use social media to really draw people in, attract new clients, attract new leads, and convert them into paying clients. That's the whole goal for today. So welcome to today's webinar. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks so much for being here today. Today, we're going to reveal kind of like the hidden secrets behind social media success. We see everyone around us being so successful online, and we're wondering, how is this possible? How do they make it happen? Let me tell you that it's not by chance, it's not by luck, but strategy is involved and planning is involved. It's so important to have something like an editorial calendar where you plot out your promotional dates and you plot out your promotional activities and what you want to promote at a certain time during the year, during the month, and you actually organize all of your content creation around this. So social media content posting should not be random, but it should be very well planned out. And that's what we don't see. That's what we don't see when we're looking at competitors online, when we're looking at colleagues or friends or peers. We see the end result, but we don't think about all of the planning and strategy that actually went on in the back end. So by the end of this presentation today, I want you to have an actionable strategy, a arsenal of actionable strategies that you can turn into a social media strategy in order to make it a client lead magnet itself.
Can
So
I ask a question?
sure.
How many of you here, when you hear the word social media, cringe? Does it fill you with complete and utter dread? Is there a fear of being visible? There is something slightly scary about it for some people, and some people just get it. So tell me, are you scared of social media, or do you say bring it on and you just want the strategies? Let us know which camp you fall into, because we find that it's very split. Some people are fine with it, but they just want to have an easier process, which is what we're going to show today. And some people are terrified of it, but it doesn't need to be that way. And again, we'll show you how.
And if you fall into that fear camp, why are you so fearful? What about it scares you so much? So, why do so many coaches and online service providers really struggle with social media? What is the hard part about it? So, most practitioners, especially within our space, and I am guilty of this in the past big time, you want to help. You have a big heart. You have all of the tools and strategies to be able to help people transform their health. I mean, that's an amazing gift to have. The gift of transformation, the gift of being able to help someone transform their lives with the advice that you've amassed over the years, that you've seen has worked before. And you want to impart this, and you want to tell people everything that you know because you're so excited about this knowledge about the human body, about supplements, about different foods that you can use, about different recipes and home remedies. I mean, this is all stuff that excites us as health practitioners. But what happens is we end up being too educational, and we end up being too sciency. And the things that excite us and the way that we've learned them in school, they excite us, but they're not necessarily going to excite our end user client. Our end user client, all they want to do is solve their health problem. They don't really want to know about how the digestive system works or how metabolic functions work. They're not into that necessarily. Maybe some are, but they just really want to know how we can fix their problem. So this is a common pitfall, just posting, information about tips about food, tips about different nutritional advice, and it often falls flat. And we see that because we speak to so many health practitioners who do that exact thing. And as a matter of fact, they actually buy content. We have a lot of practitioners who buy this generic content and they're posting it and they're wondering, why is this not converting? Why is it crickets? Not even one person is liking or commenting on my post. But it's because it's that reason. This kind of content is content that we can find when we Google. It's readily available. Nobody really cares. but I'm going to teach you ways that you can really change your language and really speak so that your client gets activated and excited and wants to learn more.
Mm.
So often, again, I'm just talking about the pitfalls. Health practitioners and coaches will post content without a clear call to action. Again, coming from that helpful space of really wanting to be helpful, really wanting to come from that giving place and give information and help people get better. But there's no call to action at the end because you're not leading them into another place. And that could be into a funnel of yours, into a free presentation that you have. It could be into the sale of one of your products or one of your online courses. So a lack of call to action is also one of the pitfalls. And then so many health practitioners also fall into overwhelm. They think they have to be everywhere at once: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. They feel like they have to be everywhere. And that actually stops practitioners in their tracks. And they think it's so overwhelming. You know what? I'm not even going to do, I'm just going to abandon it. And I don't need social media anyway. But what's the truth? The truth is that if you want to have an online business, how are people going to find you? How are you going to network online? How are you going to become visible online? You have to be on social media, and you have to do it in a correct and strategic way.
I think, Desiree, that's why people are fearful, because they don't really know how to make a start with it. They don't know the steps involved. They don't have a clear plan. And that's what makes it a bit frightening, but also easy to procrastinate on it. You just keep putting it off. And eventually time goes by and you're the best kept secret. Now that is more frightening than being visible. Being the best kept secret when you have studied for what, 1, 2, 3, 5 years. Why would you not want to get yourself out there and let people know the true value that you offer and also the transformation that you can help somebody with their health? I mean, it's so powerful, but it does start with the visibility.
So, going along with that, one of the most important things that we have as practitioners and coaches is our stories. So, we can tell our own stories of transformation, of how we went from poor digestive health to fantastic digestive health and all the steps that we took to get there. If we don't have necessarily a story of our own, nothing beats a story of your own. That comes from the heart. You have examples, you have milestones that you've gone through, you have memories. I mean, there's so much that you can bring up when it comes to storytelling. And everyone loves to hear a good story. That's why people read storybooks. That's why people watch, that real TV. People want to get into people's lives and really understand their story. Biographies, movies that we go to see. I mean, this is all getting that human connection, that relationship, and touching upon that connection. So people want to connect with people. And so when you have a strong story of transformation, there's nothing that beats that. But if you don't have a strong story of transformation, perhaps you can call upon someone that you've helped in the past within your coaching business that went from that dreadful state to that dream state, and all of the steps that they went through to actually get to that state. Because in that process, you are writing or telling a journey of how difficult it was, how that person was really stuck in the mud. They were unable to find solutions. They tried everything that they could to get better or to heal a problem or to heal a relationship, whatever type of coach you are. And they tried, and they went out there and they tried to find solutions, and they tried going one way that didn't work, but then they found another path and another way that finally worked for them. The end user client that's suffering from that same pain will want to know what that journey was like. Perhaps they're going on the same journey now and they're stuck, and they want to know what the end result is and how you got there and how they can do the same thing as you by following the same types of steps.
Desiree, you just reminded me. So Desiree and I have an online IBS course, and many years ago, she'd done an interview with somebody, and she asked the lady, "Would you mind if we share your story?" And they just hit record like this, with side by side, and they were just having a chat. Desiree was almost interviewing her. And what was so powerful about this is the lady went back into what it was like with her IBS before she met Desiree. And the next thing is she's burst into tears. And as a listener, I was crying along with her. I felt everything that she felt, her frustrations, her embarrassment. And then something switched and she said, and then I met Desiree. And she started talking about going into our IBS program, how Desiree really supported her. You even felt her energy shift. She was the prime example of storytelling and how powerful it could be because I had the visual. I heard her talking, I was there with her, and I felt like I came out the other end. And I even after watching this myself, I thought, I want to enroll with Desiree. This was absolutely transformational and so powerful. So never underestimate storytelling. And if it's not your story, it's fine. It can be a client that you've helped. If they're willing just to get on camera, share their experiences, and you'll feel more comfortable with it eventually. Just have a nice chat with somebody and just ask pertinent questions at the right time, such as, and how did that make you feel? And what was it like before you ever started making inroads into your health? And take them on that journey because they'll take the listener with them as well.
It is so powerful to sit down with a client that you've worked with in the past. And that's a perfect example of a type of content post that's a testimonial or a case study. And the authenticity just comes out in a real life conversation with someone. And that's what people relate to. So we have to find relatable content. So, as I spoke about before, the type of content where it's like, exercise for 30 minutes a day or drink six to eight glasses of water a day, sometimes that content can actually be overwhelming for someone.
Or
And
fall flat.
yeah, and it puts them into fear, like, how am I supposed to fit in 8 glasses of water a day? Like, I'm just getting half a glass of water a day or whatever it is. How am I supposed to work out for an hour every single day? So actually that content can actually go in the opposite direction of where you want them to go. It can actually put them off and make them scared. Just energetically, just think about someone telling their story of hardship. So the person going through hardship can also relate to the hardship. They can also relate to going out there and trying to find solutions. Like, it's very, very relatable. So there's nothing like storytelling. There's nothing like testimonials and case studies, as Gabby said. And often, if you've helped your clients transform their lives, they are more than, you've given them their life back. They are going to be more than happy to sit with you for 15, 20 minutes and share their story, because they know that if they share their story, they're going to be able to help so many more people out there going through the same thing. Very, very powerful. So, problem solution posts. This is another type of content. What we really want to call upon when we're writing our social media content is a person's pains. We want to speak to the pain. Some posts will be a little darker, a little bit more negative. The pleasures, the dreams, what will the person be able to do after they go through this process that you've developed, that you've helped so many other people with? What will it be like when they come out of, come out the other end and see the light at the end of the tunnel? And where will they be? And what will they be able to do? So painting that pain state and the dream state, the desires, the frustrations, what keeps them up at night. So it's not, people don't relate to like leaky gut syndrome. If someone has digestive issues, they're not going to necessarily know that they have a leaky gut syndrome. So if you speak in terms of leaky gut syndrome, they won't relate. But if you speak in terms of, I am hunched over every day over the toilet, I actually can't even make it to work, and I can't be with my kids, I can't take them on a trip for the day because I'm always having to think about being around a toilet because my stomach hurts so much, and I can't go out to the restaurant with my friends and family because my stomach hurts so much. So these are the relatable pains that they're going to be able to really resonate with and identify with. So your content has to be centered around pains, pleasures, frustrations, dreams, aspirations, transformation. Like, think in these terms when you're writing your content, as opposed to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Do you see the difference between the different types of content?
One of the really powerful things that Desiree and I, well, do, not just did, we do, we call it our IBS Gold. Now, IBS Gold comes directly from the mouths of our uh, ideal clients. And this is going through social media, so going through different various Facebook sites and hearing exactly how someone is expressing it. So it may be that they say, I can't go on a trip with a family without identifying every toilet stop. And so that is the pain point. And so a problem solution post means that you then paint the other side of it. So imagine what it's like to get in the car, to set off on a journey and get to the other end without marking the toilets along the way. So for every problem that there was, we actually created 5 different posts from that one issue. And some of them were just the negative side. Some also included the positive state. It's what we call the dream state. How do they actually want to feel? How do they want to be in their life? In what way will their life transform without their current health problem? So our IBS Gold is a constant work of art. We are constantly going in and out of it. We add to it all the time. We use it for social media. So create something where you can gather all the information of the exact words that your potential client could be saying. This is how you can create your problem solution post. So far we've had storytelling and we've also had problem solution posts. Desiree, are there others?
Sure. And I think the reason why we call that document the gold document is because it's literally it's literally covered in gold. It's the best thing. And the reason is because first of all, as health practitioners, we come up with, our jargon, our concepts and our terms that we've learned that we use every day amongst our peers, but the general layperson doesn't necessarily understand that. Also, often we think that we understand and know what our clients are going through. We have an idea of what we think that we should communicate to them because we're coming from a practitioner standpoint. We're not bringing ourselves to the level of the layperson who didn't necessarily go to school for this. They might be an engineer, but they didn't necessarily go to school for this type of health and wellness coaching. And so this type of content, coming from the perspective of what we think they need is often very different from what they say they need. So this is why this gold document is gold, because we've actually listened to what their actual minute pains and frustrations are, like down to the nitty-gritty detail of how it literally affects their day-to-day life and what they're able to do and what they're not able to do, and what they aspire to do when this health condition is over. So really, it's so simple. We make things so complicated. We overcomplicate everything. It's as simple as just listening to what our clients have to say. And if you are a case taker, if you've done one-to-one client consultations, I know when I was doing those, I was taking 8 pages of notes, just writing and writing. And I have, like, every client would have like 8 pages of notes. And if you just go through those notes and you highlight the exact words that your clients have said and repeat it back in your social media strategies, on your website, on your sales page, they're going to be able to read and identify with that right away. It's amazing.
I just thought I'd bring up an example because people do make me laugh when they say, when your dog follows you into the bathroom, hears you fart, turns and goes to lay down in the hall, looks back at you saying, don't ever complain about how my poop smells. So these are absolute words that people have said, and some of them are so hilarious. So you can see that they've been cut and pasted directly from social media, and then we then put another spin on it. And it's a way that you can start to build up the content for your social media.
That's brilliant and funny, but not funny for the person experiencing it.
No.
Educational content with a twist. So, yes, we can and we should provide educational content, but perhaps you weave that educational content into storytelling. Perhaps you give them like practical advice, but also make it funny, make it educational, but entertaining, like just like Gabby just did. I mean, that would grab someone's attention because it's kind of humorous, right? So, yes, educational content, but don't make it like a science textbook or encyclopedia that nobody is interested in opening. Very important. And then master your calls to action. So, there's a reason why you're doing all of this in the first place. You're not just doing it to, unless you are, if you're dedicating your life to just helping without making a career out of this profession. Perhaps you have another career and you're just doing health and wellness on the side as a hobby, and that's totally amazing. But if you're doing health and wellness, if you are a practitioner and you've studied for 4 to 7 years and you want to make a profession out of this and you want to build an online business where you can have a little bit of time freedom and financial freedom and help more people and make that greater impact, all of your social media content should be well thought out and strategic. So you're always guiding people to something else. As I said at the beginning, It could be that you're guiding them to your free community on Facebook. So you're just inviting people into your world. It could be that you've created a PDF guide or a checklist that will really help them solve a small part of their problem. So you're guiding people back to that PDF checklist. For this, you need a funnel. You can't do it any other way. You need a sales funnel, a marketing funnel on Automate, which means that you can continually help people all the time coming into your world without you having to be there. That's a whole other story, but it's an amazing story. And so the calls to action always have to be present. You can also do value rich posts without calls to action. But if you're creating some sort of content calendar around promotions every single month, you should definitely drive people to a specific location. And it could be to a sales page. Again, it could be to a specific lead magnet that you have. Perhaps you have a video training. Perhaps you gave a video training on a specific topic for 20 minutes and you have it embedded onto a page so you can drive people into that. Remember, people need more than 7 points of contact with you. They're not going to just see you for the first time, cold outreach on social media and purchase something from you. That's not the way things work. They need to know, like, and trust you, especially because you are getting intimate with them. If you become their health coach, it's a very intimate relationship. It's a very therapeutic relationship. And so inviting them into your world and forming this nurturing relationship over time will make them say, oh, I have this problem. She's the perfect person to help me. And this is why calls to action are so, so important in your social media posts. And, if you are struggling with any of this, there are two parts to this. There is the copywriting part where you write out amazing content. We have tools that can help us right now. We have AI tools, which at the beginning, I know probably a lot of us were resisting. We didn't want to do it. We felt like it was cheating. But now we see how much faster things can go and often how refined things can be when we use the help of AI tools and, GPT and things like that to help us write our content. Make sure that you're always reviewing and putting your own heart and soul and flair into your content. You're not just cutting and pasting, but you're actually massaging the content and making it your own. So we have the copywriting piece, and then we have the design piece. And both of them make such a difference because both of them will impact your client who is falling upon your content on social media, reading a piece of your content, but the image also has to be captivating and magnetize them and be beautiful and speak to them. So this can be a lot to manage. I'll tell you, this is an entire job on its own. So you're perfect.
You've just got to be really organized. Desiree is so super organized. And when she says it's a lot to manage, it is, but you do need to be organized and think something through. So if your end goal is that you want to sell an ebook, then prior to that, you would need to think what types of content are in relation to that ebook. What can I put out there? Now, in order to put out there, you need to have the sentences that your ideal client would be using. You can do the different types of posts that we've said in terms of storytelling, or maybe testimonial based, or that pain to solution issue, or just educational content. And then consider in what form should that be? Should it be long form, like a video, maybe as a blog, or directing somebody into a blog? Or maybe it's through Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's wherever your particular ideal client likes to hang out. And then you would then link to that content. So if you have a spreadsheet, on X date, you're going to launch your ebook. Then prior to that, you need to know on this day, I'm going to put out that post. On this day, this one. On this day, I might send out emails. And you have a very strategic process in place and with links so that you know where everything is and you just can schedule it out. Being organized in this way makes it very easy to sort your social media. It isn't actually difficult. It's just being very organized with it.
Yeah. And actually, it sets you up for success because if you know that throughout the year, you're going to have very specific promotions that you can plot down on a calendar. Let's say you run your course every 3 months. So, on a specific month, you're going to be running that course. So you can reverse engineer the process and create all the content, all of the events. If you're running like a 3-day challenge, if you're running a webinar, you reverse engineer and plot all of that pre-launch stuff onto a calendar. You know exactly when you're going to be running that presentation that you invite everyone into to launch the sale of your product. You'll know when your doors open, when there is a bonus that you want to give away or a bit of a discount that you want to offer for quick action takers. You'll know how many days the shopping cart is open for, how many days the person can actually purchase from you. You'll know when the cart closes if you have that type of business structure where you open and close your doors and you have specific promotions at specific times of year and they can only get into your course. This creates a lot of excitement. It creates a lot of momentum. It creates the scarcity kind of based approach where people are waiting to get in, but you're like, sorry, this thing is not available until this and that date. So just imagine what life could be like if you were structured and organized. But the best part of being structured and organized is that if you know that you have 5 things for sale and you're constantly just, repeating the sale of these 5 things, once you run an amazing launch and you've really taken the time to plot everything out, create all of your social media, your graphics, your copy, your events, if you have everything properly laid out, well, guess what? You can repeat this launch and you can also hire assistants to schedule everything out for you because it's been created the first time. The scheduling doesn't take much intelligence. All you need to do is get on, choose a date, and go out and schedule. Everything takes time. Everything takes time, but you can save so much time if you're very strategic about planning out your launches. So let's say I have a specific product for sale, and I've created all of my assets. Well, the next time I launch that product, that's it. All I have to do is turn things on again, literally turn things on because I have all my graphics done. Now, fiddling with social media graphics, if you're not a graphic designer, is torture. I actually can't stand being on Canva. I love writing, but Canva is a nightmare for me because especially a blank canvas on Canva and having to create something from scratch, I just stare at the screen and get lost. So we have created something amazing and we want to show you how this can actually change your life, make your launches go faster, keep you organized for years and years to come because automation is the best. So
I
Gabby,
want
what
you
have
to imagine that you've decided on what it is that you'd like to be selling. I'm going to use myself as an example because this is something that I did fairly recently, and so it's fresh in my mind, easy to show you. Now, I knew I wanted to have a detox course to send my current clients through because it's the type of thing that you can run time and time again, 3 or 4 times a year. You can support multiple clients at the same time and everyone gets healthy. It's a win-win situation. And so initially there was a sales page. Now I am just showing you in the back of my website. But the reason I'm showing you this is it's a step-by-step process and the social media links in with this. So this is a sales page. Doesn't particularly matter what's on the sales page, but the point is from the front end, the link is the live page that takes them to a sales page. So whether you've done social media or a blog or sending out emails, you want to send them to your sales page. And there is a very specific structure to a sales page. But then there's also a course. Now, Desiree mentioned before about a funnel. What is an actual funnel? It's a step-by-step process that your potential client has to take in order to complete an action. So the very first part would be a sales page. Then they purchase the course. You thank them for it. They log in and they go into the course. In terms of creating the course content, you want to have a way of taking people through the course. So one way of doing this is knowing what it is that you actually want. Now, this is one of the templates that we have for the social media, and there's different versions of this. But in this example, this isn't even the template, it's just the first part. You can see there's the capture page going to the sales page, they order an upsell. So an upsell is something that the person decides last minute to add on. For example, on a detox course, an upsell may be that they purchase some products. And then a thank you page. A downsell could be that they purchase something that is initially cheaper than the original course. So we have given you lots of templates of how you can create different systems. This one is just in relation to a course. What about when you're taking people through the course? What does that actually look like? Well, you might actually need workbooks. So this one I will show you here because I'll need to use it. Having a workbook as a structure is really helpful for your course guide. So there's many different versions of this. Now, we use, instead of lorem ipsum dolor, which is the typical phrasing for holding a space with text, we like to use something a little bit more positive. So we talk about practitioner and the modalities of healing. So it says, as a practitioner who's trained for many years in the modalities of health and healing, I have acquired the skills, the know-how and finesse to hold the therapeutic space that is required for my clients to heal and feel well again. The words are irrespective. It is about the structure. And creating workbooks for your clients to go through can be really helpful. And so we have all the structure here that would allow your client to go through your course. Now you build your course on your website, but there's always handouts. Now this is 86 pages, so I'm not going to go through all of those, but the template is there. You model it however you wish. Now, when you've created your course, you may decide to do videos in there. And videos would be you talking to camera, and you've created slides, and those slides are having a key teaching point. So here was a Google slide presentation as a template. So what is it that they can expect from the course? What are your module outlines? And it's taking them through the course. So again, lots of slides here with wonderful structures, with what they're going to be learning, what are the key features of the course or of that lesson. So lots of slides, different structures. You literally just drop your information in. It makes it so much easier. If you like a particular structure, you literally just copy the slide and continue that process. Once somebody has gone through the course and you're ready to sell it, you're probably going to want to send somebody to a webinar. So I will show you that process, but to invite them to the webinar is when our social media comes into it. And so the same thing again, we want to have multiple ways that we can actually get hold of people through our social media, be it through Instagram or whatever it may be. Again, we have some wonderful structures in place. And Desiree has said the types of content that can actually really work very well. It's just dropping in that content nice and easy. Make sure you have a clear call to action. So again, there's many slides here. There's 20. Within our social media template bundle, there's Facebook posts, Instagram post layout, podcast and Pinterest. And there's also something really cool. And this is about the webinar that you want to take people to, send people to tell them something more about it. So before I go to there, let me tell you just back on my detox course, on the initial page that was the sales page, there was then a pop-up, and that pop-up said, I'm hosting a live presentation to walk you through the detox program, answer your questions, get you geared up for an exciting journey. So people sign up for that. But then, of course, you need to give them a presentation. So this is something for free, and it's something that allows them to learn about what it is that you do and how it can really help their life. And so we give you the most amazing blank template webinar. Now, what's amazing about this is the structure. It's very psychologically done so that it's a step-by-step process that leads to the clear conclusion to actually work with you. Now, my internet speed isn't great right now, so I apologize for that. Am I going a bit in and out?
It's okay. It's
I'm okay. Good. Okay, good. So typically on a webinar, you give people 3 to 5 key teaching points that they can take action on straight away and feel something transformational from it. And this strategic process leads up to the obvious conclusion to actually work with you. And this format has been proven time and time again to work. And so for my detox webinar, I did the live presentation and I copied these slides and just dropped in my content. So my Facebook post geared people towards my landing page, which had the sales page on it. There was the pop-up that said, come and join a free webinar. The free webinar led to the obvious conclusion to work with me. They ended up going back to the sales page, purchased, and the next step in the process, of course, is to make that purchase, thank them for it, and then you have the money. This is a way that you can do your content extremely quickly, easily, in the most succinct yet professional manner. These are beautiful templates. Not just that, these are workable templates. We personally use them and we know this structure works. So sometimes it can be hard to actually transition and make that step into really doing your social media. But now you know the strategies. We've given you the means to create the content. You have these amazing templates. So that means not wasting hours on Canva again. You don't need to hire a designer. And that, honestly, those can be really expensive. And you can focus on your clients and not your content.
So in the social media template bundle, it would be nice to show on the screen to show the landing page for it. What do you get? You get 20 Facebook posts, 30 Instagram stories, 10 Facebook ads, which is amazing. You can actually run paid ads with the structure that we give you. With the prompts, I think the most important thing that we have to offer on all of these elements is the prompt, prompting you with what to write. Because sometimes you can sit in front of a blank canvas and wonder, what on earth am I supposed to post? Well, the prompts are everything, just like we saw in the webinar slide deck. You have 4 course mock-ups, 5 course guides, 20 Pinterest pins, podcast thumbnails, Instagram posts, workbook template. Anyway, I can go on and on, but trust me, from launching things every single month, you are always required to create banners and Facebook images, certain sizes. These are all pre-sized for you, and they're all really for the health and wellness practitioner or coach who wants to run an online business and who needs all of these different elements in order to run the different promotional activities that your business surrounds, including your paid offerings and your free offerings.
It's a very good point about sizing, actually, because different places need different sizings. And if you get it wrong, then your words are cut off. So we have made sure that it absolutely is all the right sizing for the different social media platforms. It does make a huge difference.
So let's just show you the, are you able to see my screen?
Where are you, Desiree? Yes. Oh, no. You've disappeared on me.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the ultimate social media template bundle for health practitioners. I can tell you from my experience that I used to hire random people on Fiverr and it was just a nightmare because the styles, especially if you're hiring people from all over the world, tastes are different, the styles are different, they're often not very modern, and you're struggling with colors and you're struggling with fonts, and it's just a nightmare to try to hire someone else. Being in control and being empowered of your own graphics with a nice base to go off of is everything. The best thing is that you can just duplicate. You can keep on duplicating for every presentation you have. You just duplicate the webinar slide deck, for example. So this is the bundle. It's really for any coach, any service-based practitioner who wants to have an online business. Here you have, again, a workbook template. So you can even break this up and create like individual checklists. You can make this into a paid offering, or you can make it into a free offering. The sky is the limit for what you can do with all of these amazing templates that have been prompted out for you to promote yourself, to do the actual social media work to promote yourself, but also to run your paid offerings. So
you can build your course with these slides, the content that goes into your course.
Yes. And so it's fairly inexpensive. It's not that much money to get it for something that you can use over and over again. That's going to really free up your time and free up your frustration. You don't have to sit there and pull your hair out on Canva because you'll have a beautiful base to go off of. It's as simple as changing colors, changing fonts if you want, sliding in your own images, and making sure that you have cohesive branding. Very, very important for someone to trust you and trust your business, especially those who are putting their faith in you because you're helping them, transform their lives in some way. They have to know that you show up professionally, that your stuff looks good, and it makes you more trustworthy. It makes you more, they can trust you because you know what you're doing. That's really what it conveys. So we'll leave this page for you down below. And the bundle is really affordable for something that you can use over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually unable to see the comments, so apologies if I've not addressed any of them, but I will go in afterwards and address any comments that you've made, any questions that you've got, so pop them in below. Hopefully we can help you, assist you. Social media is vital, and it is the way that things are going these days. Don't be the best kept secret. Be the person that shines. Be the beacon of support for your clients so you can help to guide them on their health journey. It's a scary time for them, and they want somebody to hold their hand. They're looking for that person. So make sure it's you.
Thank you so much for watching today, guys. If you have any questions, we are always here to answer them. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye for now.